My final design consideration was air filtration. And I was very fortunate to be able to reach out to Mike Segal, who's the North American really technical sales specialist with Gebhardt Fans. Gebhardt is one of the leading manufacturers of HEPA filters. So what we were looking for in our HEPA filters, the first thing is we knew that our room was going to be Class 1000. So Class 1000 space, which is approximately 11 feet wide by 23 feet long with a 9-foot high ceiling. Our calculation was that we would need 10 2x4 fan filter units. So we were able to depend upon the expertise of someone in the industry, and we had this validated with a couple of other people, that 10 2x4 HEPA filters, and these HEPA filters are rated at 650 cubic feet per minute. So that was the first thing, to understand how many HEPAs that we needed for our certification. The second consideration when we looked at our HEPAs for the airflow was, what type of motor do we go with? We elected to go with the new DC motors, which basically don't vibrate as much. They're very low in noise, and they're much more energy efficient. Energy efficiency is very important because the HEPAs in this controlled environment will need to be on 24/7 to ensure that there's positive air pressure. So once we selected the type of HEPAs and the number of them, we need to decide in the grid pattern how many where we would place them. And because the room is going to have a fume hood against this wall, mounted 6 inches against the wall, we knew we didn't want to have a HEPAs right in front of the fume hood because the air from the HEPA would be just sucked right out. So the HEPAs are located over the conveyor belt and to the side of the unit. So that was the location for the HEPAs. And then probably the most important consideration with the HEPAs is figuring out the airflow with the fume hood, because the fume hood is going to be ducted, which means that we're going to have makeup air. So we had to make sure that the HEPAs in the back of the room had at a higher fan speed than those in the past. Also, because we were going with DC motors, all of these HEPA filters are going to be daisy chained with Category 5 cable, and we'll be able to control the fan speed externally, and we'll be able to monitor resistance. The last consideration is, where does all that air go? So we knew we wanted air supply from the ceiling. It's all going to be cascading down. And then as you can see along the wall, about every 3 feet we have 2 feet by 2 feet exhaust filters. So all the air is going to be supplied from above. No dead spots because all the corners have HEPAs. The fume hood is 6 inches from the wall, and then it's all going to be exhausted out. And as you can see, those exhaust vents are as close to the floor as we could get, 4 inches off the floor.